Hello to all my friends out there. So now we're going to get into some really cheap food. Okay, I had half a package of this and I just mixed half the water. This must be 2 cups. It seemed like I had a cup. And it made 6 biscuits. And what I did is I just put them in a pan with a little oil and then I flipped them. And I just want to mention, this would be food here. Biscuits with margarine and evaporated milk. Okay, so now, from now on, you're going to save your meat drippings. You know, when I first, if people have been following me, they have seen this. So I want about, for a nice batch of gravy, let's say 2 tablespoons of drippings. This is from my steak last night. Oh, it looks like just about the perfect amount. And so if this was bacon grease, if this was sausage grease, and this this bacon or this meat fat that I made here was fried steak with jalapenos and red onions. So this should be some pretty good gravy. And you can make a nice big batch of gravy with this. And then if you don't eat it all, you just save it. And I want to mention something while I'm making the gravy. Sometimes, like when you're trying to do too many things at once, you know, you can ruin the food. How about those cookies I made today, you guys? How'd you like those? I would suggest going with this Gold Medal Premium if you can afford it. In case you ever had to eat, in case your flour was ever your food. You know, if you had to make bread. And what you really want to do is you really want to cook your, you want to get that raw taste out of your flour. And then over here, I just want to make myself a scrambled egg. Make sure you stockpile salt and pepper. Life is going to be miserable without salt and pepper. All right, back over to my gravy. So you're just going to save your bacon drippings. There's another reason. There's another real good reason. If you should have to eat beans and you have at least about a tablespoon of bacon drippings, that would be half this much. That's going to make much better beans. Okay, I mentioned earlier that Jan from New York City did a $5 challenge. Oh, and quite the introduction, too. It was like Rocky. You know, us West Coast people are very fascinated by the East Coast people. My son went to New York. I was freaked out. Just the garbage thing. You know, that was something else to us. Like out here, we have giant dumpsters. Everything goes in the dumpsters. None of this garbage stuff on the street. Okay, now, look at her challenge. She had, this is $5, 1 bag of green split peas. Go watch this video, you guys. I put stars by 1 dozen egg or 1 loaf bread because you can get 2 sometimes if you shop around. So if you're running out of food, you want to make it your business to know where you can get the eggs, 2 for $1, Aldi's, 1 loaf of bread, 99 cents only at the top of Fletcher Hills, margarine, and 1 can of milk. So that can of milk, I mix my can of milk with half water. And this is going to make some good gravy. And this gravy is going to go right on those biscuits I made over there. See how my gravy is looking so great? And the thing about this gravy is, if you have those instant potatoes that I showed you earlier, your babies can eat the potatoes and gravies. Your little babies won't be going hungry. What if you didn't have any baby food? How would that be? That'd be real crappy. Real crappy. Now, say if I was to use all of this milk up, because this would be a great big batch of gravy, from that point on, I will just start thinning my gravy with water. I rarely use more than 1 can. I want to go over here to my scrambled egg a little bit. And then, let's say if I don't eat all my my gravy, I just save it in a little bowl, and I can get some crackers or some bread, and you know, I can eat that. See how easy this is? I have my heat up on high, but if you're new to this, you can lift your pan if the heat starts getting away from you. So now my meat drippings have a lot of pepper in them. Let me taste it before I add more pepper. I like my gravy kind of on the soupy side. You can make it as thick as you like it. You guys, that is good. Doesn't need more pepper. It needs salt. So from now on, you're going to be thinking about your drippings as your food, because did you see the last video I did on the food bank food? That's what's going to happen if you get caught in a FEMA camp. So if you get some bacon ends or some sausage, you know, for less than $1 at Aldi's, you start saving your meat drippings. Stockpile margarine in your freezer, so you don't want to be running out of margarine. But at least if you had your drippings, you could fry your egg. Another thing is, if you have green beans, you want to stockpile green beans. I posted a really great video on by TJ Prepper today on my Twitter. See how nice my gravy is getting? And I noticed she had a lot of green beans under that bed of hers. Because you can put your drippings in there. About a tablespoon of drippings. Look at these biscuits. These are some good-looking biscuits. This is why you want to stockpile. Biscuit mix. These can count just like bread. Things you're apt to run out of is bread, fruit, and vegetables. So that's what you want to stockpile. Just start putting it into the back of your mind that if something happened, you want to be prepared. You want to make sure you were able to come up with something, you know? Now, let's take a look at these biscuits. You could put butter on that, but you don't really need it. So you could put this gravy on mashed potatoes. You could have a little bowl of gravy with some crackers or whatever kind of bread you had. This might be the difference of going hungry. So you want to start saving your drippings in the refrigerator, especially if you're ever running out of food at all. This gravy is really good because that steak I made last night was very yummy. Okay, you guys, God bless you all.